Hey everybody, it's May 12th, 2017, and this is the Chuck Baker vlog number 377. And how the heck is everybody today? I really want to know. So put a note down there in the description and tell me how you're doing and what you've been up to. Today I have 6 news stories to talk with you about, so let's get started. First one here is police shooting of teen in Texas draws federal probe, officials say. A while back I told you about the teenager that was shot in the car by a police officer. They had been called to a house because of underage drinking, and the police officer that did the shooting, he was fired from the police force, and now he's been charged with murder. And he turned himself in on May 5th about that. And now there's a federal probe underway about the shooting. Um, there's been some more information about that. Evidently, the car that the teens were in were stopped at an intersection. And when the police officers arrived, they said that they heard gunfire. So when they approached the car, they told the teen that was driving to turn off the car and get out. And he didn't comply, so evidently the officer broke the window out. And when he did, I guess the teen panicked because he started to drive away. And the other officer that did the shooting, it was said that the car passed him and he fired into the car and hit the 15-year-old and killed him. So they're investigating this more, and the officer is under investigation and been charged with murder for that. And if anything else develops, I'll let you know. The next story here is the drug whisperer. Drivers arrested while stone cold sober. In Georgia, there's a new program for police officers called Drug Recognition Expert. Officers can take training to recognize when people are on different types of drugs. And this woman was pulled over, and when she was pulled over, the officer asked her if she'd been drinking, and she had told him not tonight. And he had her get out of the car, and they did a breathalyzer test on her, which she passed. And then he had asked her when was the last time that she had smoked marijuana, and she had told the officer that she doesn't smoke marijuana and never has. And then he asked her if she was sure she hadn't smoked marijuana, and she said she was sure that she never smoked marijuana. And he had told her that she was showing him indicators that she was under the influence of marijuana, and he was putting her under arrest. Now, when she had a blood test done, there were no drugs in her system. So now the state of Georgia has implemented this program, and evidently an officer is supposed to be able to tell if you're on drugs and what type of drug you're on just by looking at you, which I don't see how that's possible. I know you can tell if a person's drunk, most of the time, because slurred speech, bad coordination,
that doesn't mean they're drunk.
Like that. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean they're drunk, but that's what the breathalyzer is for. But just to look at somebody and to say that they're on drugs and specifically what drug they're on, I don't think you can do that. What do you guys think? Do you think that's possible? Put a note down there in the comments and let me know if you think that somebody
can. I think you had one that's for ibuprofen.
Oh, you think? Can you tell? How can you tell? Tell me. I want to know.
It's a giant white spot on your nose.
And for those of you that don't know, that's Cindy from the Peanut Gallery. Only today she's peanut butter because she got crushed. Peanut butter. Want some chocolate with your peanut butter? But yeah, everybody, put a note down there in the comments and tell me what you think. Do you think officers can tell that you're on drugs and specifically what drug you're on? I want to know. All right, the next story here is footage shows incident with 8-year-old 2 days before suicide. This 8-year-old boy had been being bullied at school, and he had went into the school restroom one day, and some other kids followed him in, and they beat him up, and they threw him against the wall so hard that it made him pass out. And in this video, you can see him laying at the entrance to the restroom, and other people walk around him. But his parents were called, and they were told that he fainted at school. They didn't tell the parents about the bullying. Well, the parents came and got him from school, and then a couple of days later, he hanged himself in his room. And then the parents started investigating what had happened. Excuse me. And they had found out that there was actually a surveillance video that showed a lot of what happened at the restroom, because most of this happened at the entrance to the restroom. So you can see the kid get slammed and he fall to the floor, and then you can see him laying there. So now the parents are wanting to know why they weren't told that their son was being bullied at school, and why they only told him that he had fainted when they knew all along that he had been attacked at the school. So I would think that there's going to be at least a lawsuit here, and maybe some criminal charges. But if anything changes with that, I'll let you know. And the next story here is massive fast-moving cyber attack hits as many as 74 countries. These hackers have been attacking 74 different countries, and in the UK, they've shut down medical facilities, hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices. Some doctors haven't been able to see their patients because of this. Hospitals have had to resort to paper records now since this happened. And what these hackers are doing is they're encrypting the data on the computers and ransoming that data back for $300 worth of bitcoins. Now, I think when they find out who these hackers are, that these hackers should be charged with terrorism, because that's what they're doing. They've locked up this information on people's medical information that can put people at risk, because the medical personnel can't get access to their records. So they're actually committing terrorism in these 74 countries. And when they find them, I think they should be treated just like terrorists, because that's what they're doing. What do you guys think? You think I'm agree with me? You think I'm right? You think I'm wrong? Let me know. Put your comments down there, and we'll talk about it. And if anything changes on that, I'll be sure and let you know. Next story here is removal of Confederate monuments stirs backlash in statehouses. In Louisiana, they're removing Confederate monuments from different sites, and the lawmakers there want to keep those monuments in place, and they're going back and forth with the officials removing those. A lot of the monuments have already been taken down, but they're still doing that. And like I said, the state houses want to keep the monuments, and even some protesters have been out there protesting that. But if anything changes on that, I'll let you know. And then the last article here is two faces of the immigration fight get to stay in U.S. for now. A while back ago, I told you about a lady that was set to be deported, and she took refuge in a church, and she's been living in that church for months now. Well, she just got to word that she has been allowed to stay, her and one other person. They don't know how long she's going to be able to stay in the country, but she was voted as Time Magazine's most influential person in the world because of her fight for immigrant rights. So for right now, she gets to stay, but if anything else develops, I'll let you know. And that's all the stories I have for today, everybody. Hope everybody liked my video. If so, please give me a thumbs up. And also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And take a look at my social media sites, G+, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you missed yesterday's video, just click on the image there. And please check out my website, the Chuck Baker homepage at chuckbaker.org. Till tomorrow, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.